Good morning, hope you had a fantastic day yesterday, and in today's market outlook we're going to kick it off with EURUSD. So EURUSD continued in towards the highs slightly. We haven't really seen anything interesting as of yet. As we can see, we've pretty much just found this area of resistance and we're still consolidating in between the lows and in between the highs. So for the rest of the day, what I'm going to be waiting for is a potential slide in towards the downside, breaking the lower time frame uptrend, push down in towards this area of demand from where we can potentially look for further upside potential. Euro dollar is currently trading in between this low and in between this high. For the rest, we just have range bound price action, so make sure to be a little bit cautious when trading because you could get caught out. Now, when we have these kind of ranges, what I like to do is apply my range trading tool. And simply said, what you want to be doing is you want to be selling from that 75% mark and you want to be buying from the 25% mark. So now again, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be waiting for a tap in towards this area of demand, which facilitated the break of this high. And then we're just going to see if the lower time frame shifts, and then we'll be looking for a potential long, so longing from that 25% mark. Now going in towards the 15-minute time frame, what you can then see is that there's a lot of trendline liquidity being built up over here. And we're currently breaking kind of that uptrend in towards the highs. So by breaking this trend line, and now we're seeing that downside push. So a lot of liquidity below these lows. So I'm now waiting for these lows to get taken, potentially a push down lower in towards that demand zone, which is also your 4-hour demand zone. And then from there, a potential long it will be on our hands. If the market does not retrace in towards the downside and we just continue pushing upwards, then obviously I'll be waiting for some cleaner price action and a breakout out of this overall area of consolidation. So for that breakout out of that area of consolidation, I'll just be waiting for a break of the high over here, push up, pull back, and then we will be looking for continuation if a clean area of demand is created. Now going onwards in towards the dollar index has pretty much not been doing that much as well. As we can clearly see, liquidity being built up below these lows. So I do anticipate a further downside push, but before we get that push in towards the downside, we might still see some more upside, grabbing liquidity and then boom, seeing that drop. Overall on the 15-minute time frame, what you can see is that we kind of have this area or box of consolidation over here, and we have equal highs in the sense that we have this high over here and this high over here. So I would like to get those highs get taken out, maybe tap in towards the real buy before the sell over here, and then for example that drop in towards the downside. For the rest, if you look at the 15-minute overall, you could say that we are still bullish. I mean, we had a low over here, then a lower low. This was a high, a lower high. Then we broke the high over here. So that means that we have a higher low, higher high. Again, we break the high over here, meaning we have a higher high and a higher low. So we're still respecting this overall higher low, and we're still trading in between this impulse up. And this is pretty much just a correction. So it does look like the dollar index wants to push up higher. What I'll then do is I'll be looking to see how we reach that area of supply, and dependent on how we reach that area of supply, do we see like a trend shift. Once we reach that zone, then we can look for those potential shorts on the dollar, which means euro dollar, pound dollar, Aussie dollar longs. Now moving forward in towards Aussie dollar, which is our next pair, and starting here on the 4-hour time frame, what I'm now looking for is a further push in towards the downside, in towards this zone number 1. Overall, what has happened is it seems that we're breaking out of this area of consolidation. So we're breaking the lows and we're breaking this area of demand. And in my analysis, I expect therefore that the market will just continue down lower in towards the zone number 1. Maybe we see a slight pullback, but I definitely do think zone number 1 will be get hit next. So that's it for Aussie dollar. Very simple analysis, just expecting that demand zone to get hit as we're breaking out in towards the downside. For the rest, not much on this pair. Moving on in towards pound dollar. So pound dollar moved up higher yesterday, pretty much just grabbing the liquidity above these highs. Still have this high over here untouched. So there is still potential or room for pound dollar to move up higher. To be honest, very consolidated price action. What I'll be looking for is to see how we're reacting inside of this imbalanced candle over here for the rest of today, and then from there potentially a long in towards the highs, in towards that extreme area of supply. That is the only trade that I see for now on pound dollar. Overall, we're looking slightly more bullish than bearish here on the 1-hour time frame, after pretty much breaking this downtrend over here on the 1-hour time frame, breaking the highs. So now looking for continuation in towards the upside for the rest rest of today. Now, NZDUSD, what I'm looking for there is different, pretty similar to Aussie dollar. Still further downside is expected. For now, we're just respecting this area of supply. Not much for the rest. I mean, this is the fractal low, which is now broken. We were trading in between here. You can see once we came in towards this sell before the buy, we did in fact see like one bullish strong candle, but overall it just consolidates, and that's why we can't always trade those fractal entries, because sometimes the market will just continue to move sideways and make fractal breaks or structures everywhere. So therefore it is better than to just wait for the market to break out and see a push in towards this zone over here, from where we could potentially see like a pullback play once again. So that is it for NZDUSD. Now moving on and just showing you guys the daily real quick. The daily is bearish, and therefore, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, still looking for some further downside on this pair after coming back in towards supply. Now last for gold. Gold had a massive rally yesterday, incredible. It looks like Bitcoin chart, to be honest, really nearing that all-time high again. It does look like it wants to go for it. For the rest, when we kind of have this kind of price action, it's hard to like really analyze it based on technical analysis. I was looking to see, are we going to see some slowdown after grabbing the liquidity above this high over here? As we can see, nothing really happened. Again, I can say that I'm looking for potential shorts if we do grab the liquidity above these equal highs, but then we need to see some bearish momentum. As we can see, zero bearish momentum at all, so therefore just waiting for the market to continue up higher and for it to kind of slow down at one point in time and show us that it's inbound for a correction. So what do we need for that correction? We need some ascending corrective price action, then a change in the overall structure, and then we will be looking for a short. For now, just going to be leaving gold overall, because I do not want to be longing this anymore, because based on my technical analysis and the way I enter the market, it is hard now to enter. The only way that you could enter is now breaking this high, push up, then a pullback in towards that sell for the buy, and then, for example, look for continuation. So that is the only play that I see. If we want to look for downside, preferably again as well, break the high and then break the low, which broke that high, and then we can continue down lower, back in towards, for example, these two demand zones. But that is the only place that I see. For the rest, if we do just continue up higher, it does look like we want to catch that all-time high on gold. So thanks so much, guys, for tuning in again, and wish you all a fantastic day for the rest, and there will be some educational content coming out as well. Thanks.